Michael A. Heller, Mine, How the Hidden Rules of Ownership Control Our Lives. Dive into the fascinating world of ownership and the hidden rules that control our everyday lives with the summary of a Mine. How the Hidden Rules of Ownership Control Our Lives by Michael A. Heller. Discover how businesses and governments use ownership design as a social engineering tool to influence our behavior and manage scarce resources. From password sharing for streaming services to line-standing businesses and Disney's FastPass Plus system, this book sheds light on the complexities and strategies of ownership design that impacts us on a day-to-day basis. Get ready to challenge your own notions of ownership and possession as you navigate a world where the lines between owning and not owning are constantly being blurred.
The power of ownership design. Ownership design is a tool used by businesses and governments to influence human behavior by defining rules around scarce resources. It offers a choice: either we choose for ourselves or someone else chooses for us. The article highlights the strategic use of ownership design by HBO, allowing illegal streamers to hook on the network's content and eventually buy a subscription of their own. It also discusses the Duke campout, an example of how ownership design can be used to increase brand value and evoke loyalty among fans. Overall, ownership design is a social engineering tool that affects us without us even noticing it. The first come, first served illusion. The concept of first come, first served is becoming a thing of the past. In Washington, D.C., people pay line standers to save their spots for as much as $6,000 each. Although it may seem unfair, this line-standing business creates jobs for those in need. Disney World, on the other hand, introduced the FastPass Plus and private VIP tour, allowing visitors to reserve time slots and discreetly skip lines for a fee. However, the perks come with a high price tag and risk infuriating other customers. This shows that in today's world, being first in line doesn't guarantee being first to be served, and the illusion of fairness is constantly being masked to keep visitors feeling like their chances are equal. The illusion of ownership. Possession isn't always ownership. This book's summary explores the concept of adverse possession, which allows physical possession to turn into ownership. From conflicts over land to owning digital books, the boundaries between what we own and what we think we own are becoming increasingly blurred. Through captivating real-life examples, this summary challenges readers to reconsider their understanding of ownership. Reaping others' sown labor. The notion that ownership is justified through labor has a long history in the United States. The Homestead Act offered 160 acres of land to American citizens, but Native Americans were excluded from ownership despite farming and hunting the land. Today, labor remains a factor when discussing ownership. Protecting artistic labor has proven problematic, as copyright laws differ depending on the industry. While music is copyrighted, fashion knockoffs remain legal. Efforts by fashion designers to secure legal ownership of their work have been unsuccessful. In contrast, after the death of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the copyright to his famous "I Have a Dream" speech was secured as part of his estate. The for-profit company King Incorporated, controlled by King's son Dexter, licenses the speech at an exorbitant price, preventing its use in Hollywood productions. This exploitation of his father's legacy for personal gain is widely recognized. Ownership attachment. The concept of ownership attachment justifies ownership but not always. Ownership laws have to keep up with the development of technology. Courts have reconsidered the limits of ownership, including the air above homes. A Kentucky court ruling has challenged the logistics industry's hopes for drones to fly over people's gardens for delivery purposes. As a result, the concept of who owns the reclining space behind airplane seats remains a gray area. In Florida, beach erosion has challenged the traditional notion of private ownership of dry sand. The horizontal attachment in front of a homeowner's house can get washed away by the sea. The ethics of selling organs. Discover whether it is ethical to sell organs and why the answer varies depending on the state or country you are in. Our bodies are often considered sacred, but can we sell our organs? The law in the U.S. differs depending on which state you are in. In Nevada, you can sell sexual services, including your virginity, but this would be considered prostitution and a criminal offense in Arizona. You can sell your bone marrow in Montana for up to $3,000, but it's illegal in Wyoming. However, selling kidneys is illegal worldwide, with the exception of Iran. Despite our instincts to protect vulnerable people from exploitation, some argue that a system that monitors kidney sales could prevent exploitation. They believe that people have a choice to sell their organs if they need to pay off a mortgage or medical bills. Moreover, it would be better for humanity if people didn't die waiting for kidneys. The sale of organs can raise ethical concerns as it undermines the human dignity and challenges our instinctive belief that something should not have a price. However, the need for organs is higher than the rate of donors, leading to illegal trade and exploitation. In conclusion, the question of organ sales raises a complex ethical debate. The answer varies, depending on where you live. While some believe it is a case of personal choice, others believe that it is an indignity to our common humanity. Is there a way to create a system that allows the sale of organs without exploiting the poor and vulnerable? It's up to you to decide. Ownership and trusts. A family fought over a rocking chair that had sentimental value, highlighting how ownership rules affect assets even after death. English and American law have a rule against perpetuities, limiting trusts to 2 generations. In the 1980s, South Dakota abolished the rule, allowing the creation of dynasty trusts that last forever and avoid taxes. The state's non-disclosure rules attract billions in assets from the wealthy and criminal. While estate planning can benefit anyone, it's crucial for parents of minors to ensure their children's inheritance and guardianship. Not making decisions regarding asset ownership means the state will decide for you.
Wrapping up our exploration on the hidden rules of ownership, we've learned about the many ways that ownership design is used as an influential tool by businesses and governments, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Examples like HBO's approach to password sharing, Disney's FastPass Plus, and line-standing businesses reveal the intricate ways in which ownership shapes our experiences and manipulates our choices. Furthermore, the blurring lines between what we truly own and what we think we own create an increasingly complex world where claims of attachment, laws, and moral instincts influence our legal rights. With our newfound understanding of the nuances of ownership, we can reshape our beliefs and choices, standing on more informed ground while navigating the ever-changing world of possession.